In today's video, I will tell you how to get coaching clients as a beginner coach. I will share with you how to find one of your first clients, even if you are shy, introverted, lack confidence, and even if you do not know your niche yet. When I walked away from my coaching course, I could not wait to get started. I felt so excited and I was just so filled with joy and purpose. But then the reality hit me, and maybe that's the reality that's hitting you right now. The reality that if you're a coach, you are gonna have to find your own clients. You are gonna have to get coaching clients yourself. They're not coming to you the same way that work was coming to me when I used to work in corporate. I had absolutely no idea how to get clients, and so I procrastinated getting out there for a really long time. More specifically, I was stuck in 4 major areas. Number 1, I didn't know how to position myself. So I didn't want to go out there and kind of sell myself as this big experienced coach, because I was not an experienced coach. I was just finishing my coach training. I just got my certification. And so I felt like I can't really act like I have already a coaching practice and a coaching business. And because honesty and integrity are values that are very important to me, that was a big question in my mind. Like, if I go out there and I speak to potential clients, if they ask me how many people I have coached, then what do I say? But at the same time, it didn't feel 100% right to get out there and position myself as a beginner coach, because yes, in coaching, I was just beginning and I just had my certification, but I did have a 10-year finance career, professional career behind me, but I was dealing with really complex issues. Like, I was a beginner, but I was not a beginner. Like, I was experienced and inexperienced at the same time. Number 2, I did not have a niche. So if you're starting out as a beginner coach, you're probably going to be familiar with this problem. A lot of people have niches. So naturally they know they want to work with certain kind of people or a certain kind of a problem. They want to help people overcome certain kind of difficulties. So some sort of a topic, some sort of something that can then develop into a niche is something that a lot of people would have. Now, I did not have that, and I felt really stuck around that. So I kept thinking, everyone is telling me, all the experienced coaches, all the business building gurus are telling me that I need to have a niche, because if I don't have a niche, I don't know who I am speaking to. If I'm trying to speak to everyone, I'm speaking to no one. If I'm trying to help everyone, I'm helping no one. So I kind of understood it theoretically that I needed to get a niche and find a niche, but I couldn't find one because I felt like there were a lot of things that I was passionate about, and I had knowledge from a lot of different areas. But because everyone kept saying to me, you need to have a niche, and then that's when you're gonna get clients, I was kind of thinking, okay, so I don't have a niche yet, which means I can't really get out there yet. So I kept thinking, okay, I'm not gonna get out there. I need to figure out this niche thing first. Number 3, professional coaches have a website. If you don't have a website that you can send people to, where they can find out more about you, what you've done, your experience, what you specialize in, all that, then no one's going to take you seriously. That was kind of the approach that I was always hearing, and it kind of made sense to me. So again, I was like, okay, in order for me to get out there, I need to have a website, but I can't really do a website. I can't make a website unless I know what I want to specialize in or what sort of a coach I want to be. So I was back with the niche topic again. Okay, if there's no topic, if there's no niche, then there's no website. If there's no website, no clients. Where I felt really stuck was how much I was supposed to be charging. I wasn't sure whether, as a beginner coach, someone who just finished her coach training, whether I was in the right place to charge yet. Is it kind of admitting defeat if I'm coaching for free? At the time, there was a lot of talk around, no, you're not supposed to coach for free. Coaching is so amazing, it's so helpful, it's so valuable, you should not give it away for free. I felt like I couldn't really get out there and talk to clients, because in case they want to hire me as a coach, they're going to ask me how much I'm charging. And I really felt uncomfortable coming up with a number. So because of all these things, I felt absolutely stuck. I didn't know who I wanted to coach. I didn't know where those people might be, precisely because I didn't know who they were. I didn't know how to speak to clients. I didn't feel comfortable coming up with a number. Like, I just felt completely stuck. And it got so bad that there was a time when people asked me what I did for a living, when I met new people here and there. I felt so ashamed that I was a coach without clients, that I felt somehow I couldn't even say any longer that I'm a coach. Because are you really a coach if you're not coaching anyone? So I was thinking about that a lot. So I came up to cover that shame. I came up with a lot of those vague kind of generic answers, like something like, "Oh, I just had a baby," which was true, by the way. I just had a baby, or I'm in between careers, or I used to work in finance and now I'm moving into another area, or I am just retraining to be a coach, or something like that. Because I didn't, not only that I didn't have clients, I didn't even see how I would ever push through that. Like, it just seemed so impossible. I felt like I was here, getting clients was here, and then there were millions of obstacles in between. I don't want you to be stuck. If you decided you're going to be a coach, you have to be a coach. If you're a coach, you have to coach people. So you need to get to a point when you have a lot of people lining up in front of you, people you can coach, coaching sessions that you can learn from, not just in terms of getting better and better at coaching and getting better at getting results to your clients, but also to be better at managing the entire aspect of your business. But now we talked enough of the problem. Let's talk about how I fixed it and what you can do as well to get coaching clients fast. Something happened that gave me the idea. So I overheard someone who knew that I was struggling to get clients at the time to speak to another friend, and said the words, yes, she just retrained to be a life coach and she's looking to find clients to practice her coaching skills. And as soon as I heard the word practice, I suddenly felt inspired. So I emailed a couple of friends who had a larger network, and I said the following words. As you know, after almost 10 years in finance, I left my corporate job to pursue my purpose and do meaningful work. I have just retrained to be a life coach, and I am looking to practice the coaching skills I have learned there. Do you know anyone in your network who has something they want to improve in their lives and might be interested in coaching? I am offering 5 coaching sessions for free, and I have availability for 8 people. So this is the message that I sent out. It changed everything. Suddenly inside of me there was a shift. The response that I got to this message was overwhelming. I got 10 email addresses the same day. Out of those 10 people who I later emailed, 7 said that they wanted to try coaching, and eventually 5 ended up signing up with me. So I straight away, overnight, had 5 coaching clients. You do not have to coach for free. If you feel comfortable charging money straight away, you have to charge money. But if you can't, then you can absolutely coach for free. In the beginning, you take a couple of clients for free. It's not going to make a huge difference to your career. In 5 years' time or 10 years' time, definitely 20 years' time, looking back, you might not even remember that you did that. It's not going to be forever, but for the time being, that might be the step that helps you to kind of get on the ladder. And once you're on the ladder, then stepping up is going to be a million times easier. I am a huge believer in coaching for free and working for free in the beginning. Only in the beginning. You're not going to do that forever, otherwise you don't have a business. But in the beginning, I am a huge believer it can totally speed up the process for you. And here is why. It takes pressure off of you. Asking for money is a skill. You may not realize it at the time, but it is a skill to know your worth, to be able to articulate your worth, to talk about your services in a way that your potential clients get excited and want to hire you, and to ask for money, to actually stand in front of another person and say, I charge this much money for these services. It requires a lot of confidence. It requires a lot of skill, especially if you come from a different environment where you didn't have to do that. If this is the first time you are a freelancer, that you're working for yourself and you need to get your own clients and you need to get your own income, it's a lot to cover all at once. Because you want to be a good coach, you want to get amazing results for your clients, you want to get clients, you want to run some of these trial sessions, you need to set up your business and run that business. There are a million things that you need to focus on all at once, and it can be crazy overwhelming. So taking the money piece out of it, I think, is a really wonderful way of getting started. And in reality, you're not going to lose anything. In fact, the only thing you can do by coaching people for free is win. You can actually learn a lot from free coaching. You can learn from any type of a coaching. Whether you're paid or not paid doesn't take away the learning that will come out of your sessions. Especially if you don't know your niche yet, then I think it's a really easy and pragmatic and practical way to test out some of the topics that your clients will be bringing, some certain type of people that you might be coaching. There is all this hype around finding your niche, and there are millions and millions of exercises. Personally, I have never met a coach who found their niche through those exercises. Those exercises and those frameworks are really amazing. They sound very good. They're particularly attractive for our left brain, but in reality, they are not very helpful in finding what you're looking for. I think it's more helpful to start coaching every topic, every possible type of person, every age group, anything that you can take, like really go with the intention to explore and come from a place of curiosity, and then pay attention to what sort of areas are more enjoyable for you, where can you give the best value, where do you find clients who absolutely love working with you, because those will be a lot more helpful to help you find your niche than to sit behind a computer or sit over a piece of paper and a pencil and then trying to draw these crazy circles. Another reason why I think it's so amazing to coach for free, and you should if you haven't got clients yet, is because you are reducing the time between when you decided you're going to be a coach or when you have your qualifications and between when you're getting your first clients. That the longer you allow that time to go and to be, the harder it's going to be for you to get coaching clients. Why? Because it's really gonna erode your confidence. To be a coach and then having no one to coach is just this really weird feeling, you know? It's like that, like something is not quite right. Like, why am I not getting clients? I wanted to do this. I decided I'm gonna do this. It's really not a good place to be. So I think whatever you can do to reduce the time between when you have your qualifications or when you finished your coaching course, if you are even doing a coaching course, and then between having your first client, I think the shorter you can make it, the better off you're going to be. And the final reason why I am a big advocate for coaching for free in the beginning is because now that you had a couple of clients that you coached for free, and you can decide how many, you can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 5, you can do 30, it doesn't really matter, it's entirely up to you. But now, potentially, you can have 5 or 10 clients that you have coached. So when the time comes, when you go out there and you're going to want to charge clients, you're not going to feel like an imposter because you're going to have a lot of experience. If they ask you about what type of topics you have coached or what type of people you have worked with before, you're going to have something to draw from. So you are not going to be like this white piece of paper, like I'm just actually starting out and I have nothing to say, I have nothing to give, I have no examples, I have no experience. You're going to have a lot that you can use to answer some of the potential clients' questions. Coaching for free has a bad reputation in the coaching industry. This was definitely the case when I started out. I think it's changing now. I think there's a huge opportunity that you're going to miss if you don't do that. Getting clients straight away that you can coach for free is a million times better than wait for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months or a year potentially, not having anyone because you are looking for this perfect client, looking for your niche, and you're looking to get everything right before you get out there. It is absolutely true that the type of clients you're going to get if you offer coaching for free, they're probably not going to be the best clients, and some of them may not want to work with in the future. But that is also an important experience as a coach, to know who you do not want to work with, so that in the future, when you're running these trial sessions, discovery sessions, remember that you're also deciding on those sessions if you want to work with them. So trying out what sort of people you enjoy working with, where are your limits, what are some things that you can tolerate and not tolerate, I think those are really, really important. What might also happen is that from some of your free coaching clients that you got to as you were starting out, some of them may want to continue with you. That's what happened to me. I had 2 clients who continued and they started paying me after we finished the 5 sessions that I offered them for free. Okay, so if some of your clients want to continue with you after the free sessions are over, how much should you charge them? That was a big question that was on my mind. So this is what I did. I'm going to share what I did, which was over 10 years ago. So you need to take that into account, that the numbers might look very different today, but it will give you a little bit of an indication of what you might do. For the absolute first session that I charged money for, I charged £50. I was living in London at the time. I charged £50 for a 60-minute session. When I hired a coach, so when I was the client, I paid between £80 and £250 a session. There's one lesson that I would teach myself if I could go back in time. What I would say to myself is that it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter. What you want to do in the beginning is to build up your confidence, to build up your skills, and to build up your practice. So how much you're charging to the first client and to the second client and to client 30 and client 35 doesn't really matter, because you're in it for the long run. So the quicker you can get to a lot of experience, a lot of exposure to different areas, different topics, different areas of life, the quicker you can get to the point that you can get clients, even if you're coaching for free, and even if you are charging some money but maybe not the market rate, the quicker you can get there, the better. Because then you have an established business, you have an established practice. It's not possible to grow something that doesn't exist. Trying to go too fast is often why you get stuck in the beginning. Listening to business building gurus can be extremely dangerous. Looking back on your coaching business in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, you are going to realize that there are two very distinct phases. The first one is establishing your coaching business, and the second one is growing your coaching business. You cannot grow something that doesn't exist. If you don't have clients, if you haven't got clients ever in your life, if you don't know what your niche is, then in that very beginning phase, you are not in a position yet to listen to all this other elaborate stuff, like how to build a social media presence and how to design this really wonderful high-ticket coaching program and how to do all these other things. It's like you're not there yet. You need to get the basics right. If you don't have a practice, you can't grow it. It is this terrible manifestation of this toxic reverse engineering culture that we live in. We look at successful people, and when we become successful, we tend to do the same thing. We look at our own success, where we made mistakes, where we wasted time, where we spent hours and hours or weeks or years and years to figure something out. And then we want to describe it with 3-4 sentences, go to the beginners and say, what you need to do is bam, 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 this and this and that. And then in reality, what we are doing, we're making the process sound too simplistic. That's not how it happens in real life. The reality of becoming a coach is this: you are going to need to grow into a coach. Having coaching skills, completing your coaching program, getting certified, all of that is not what makes you a coach. You need to embody being a coach. Embodying being a coach means that you are confident about your abilities, you know the power of coaching, you know what it can do to people, and when you are in front of another human being who might be going through something difficult, you're able to connect with them and then tailor make and talk about what is going to bring to them. And then once that conversation ended, you are confident enough to say, and for this is how much I charge. Like, you can just own it. That is something you need to develop inside of yourself. It's not something you're going to get just because you have a piece of paper that shows that you're a coach. Try and resist the temptation to listen to people who would like to make it into just a step-by-step process. It's not just a step-by-step process. My advice to you is that do not try and do everything all at once. Allow yourself time to figure things out, to grow into a larger, bigger, more confident version of yourself as a coach. And that means that you need to think about tiny little incremental but continuous steps. Until you got 5 to 10 clients, whether you know your niche or not, whether you have a website or not, until you've gotten to a point that you got out there and got yourself 10 clients, until then, you don't need to worry about everything else. Until then, your priority is exactly this: to get clients. How can I summarize this video? Dare to slow down so that you can speed up. Okay. Was this video helpful? I hope so. I was really stuck with this for a long time, so I wanted to make a video that will help you guys out there. If you're starting out as a coach, I guess you can take the principles from this video, even if you're not a coach, even if you're a freelancer, you're doing different kind of work than coaching, life coaching, some sort of a coaching. But tell me, was it helpful, and what sort of videos would you like to see in the future? I want to make content that's actually helpful to you, so please do let me know in the comments if you have a question, if there's anything you're struggling with, and I'm going to look in my experience and try and answer the best way I possibly can. See you soon.